I wasn't live the whole time. I knew something was going to go wrong. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, hey, welcome everybody to the stream. I apologize for the technical issues. Apparently, I have to hit the button 3 or 4 times for it to actually start streaming. So I'll just start over again. Welcome everyone. Glad everyone who's here, and if you didn't make it, you're watching this after the fact. It's all good. I was talking about how before I hopped on here, I was in my head a little bit about, like fighting the expectations. And it's like, you know what, man? And I was in my head about working out because I hadn't worked out in a few or several days. And I was like, you know what, man, do it. Screw it. So what if it's going to make me tired? You know what? We will let's just go burn out right before the stream. So I went down to the gym about 10 minutes ago and I did pull downs till failure until I was screaming and I got it all out. And now I'm back and I'm fresh. And so, that that was some good stuff. And then before I went out there, I shaved, and I was in my head about shaving. I was like, "Ah, should I go into stuff? Do I really need to be serious? Yeah, whatever, man." It's like, you know what? Screw it. I'll just shave right now. I did, and I looked. I said, nobody can ruin this perfect day but me. I'm the only person who can do it. My attitude is the only thing that's gonna wreck today. Really, that's it. My perception is all it is, really. Yeah. Hey, glad you're all here. Welcome, Casper, Sloppy Deck. How's it going, man? I don't know if we talked too much, but I think I have seen you in the comment section, so thank you for that. It's good to meet you. Some of my friends and people I've known for a very long time are here with us. I want to first thank all of them. All they know who they are. They have been with me thick and thin. They have put up with my shit for so many years. And I can't imagine the kind of strength that takes. Honestly. I'm being a little, humble here. I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I'm really not. I definitely have my moments. So, I just want to thank them all from the bottom of my heart. Not going to name anybody's name to be polite, and courteous because they may or may not want to be recognized, live on YouTube. So, but I want to say how much I love them and how much I care about them, each and every one of them at the end of the day. No matter how upset I may get with them or they get with me, it don't matter. They say blood is thicker than water, but let me tell you, man, there are some people with me right now that we don't even share blood, and I think that blood is thicker than any blood that I've shared with someone on paper, um, including the people who actually do share blood with me, which are a couple of people with that going on, and I really I love you all very much, and thank you. Just the opportunity to be here and do this. Honestly, just having this, I don't even, honestly, nobody could show up. And like I said, I'm the only person that can ruin today. My head is the only thing that can ruin today because just the fact that I even have that title up there and I can legitly do that is just fucking, dude, it's incredible. And look, there's a lot of people I know that they don't even watch YouTube, and that's cool. But a lot of us do, and anybody who knows anything about YouTube knows how hard just to get this is. Has an idea. It's all over the internet. All you gotta do is just search. How hard is it to get 10,000 subscribers? I mean, I could pull it up right now. I probably should fact check myself here, but really, I mean, hell, it took me years of struggle, perseverance, and not even working that hard, but just not giving up for this to even get here. I mean, I can't imagine what I'm, what it takes to get to the next milestone, I guess, which I dare say 100,000. And the only reason I even think that's possible is because one of my shorts has gotten 100,000 views. So it's like, well, I mean, I don't. You know what else I got to thank you? I said it before. I thank you guys for so much. Is you know, my the help you've given my psyche. You know, thanks, man. Thanks. No consequence. Yeah, I absolutely. And I gotta say, before I met you guys, all of you subscribers and the people in this room, I was kind of a broken wreck in a lot of ways, not every way. I was alive, and I did have many great moments of feeling good, but overall, I had a lot of problems, and I had a lot of deep, still kind of do sometimes, deep insecurities, and kind of just what you guys did for my self-esteem in a good way, I can never repay. Because I remember the day it happened. I was talking with one of my confidants, who shall remain nameless. And I was really in my head when I first started getting success with this channel, even a little bit. Like, I think it was just 600 subscribers. And I didn't even, I started at the, like, zero. I didn't even know if it was I didn't even know if it was fake or not at that point. But when I started to sink in that people liked my stuff, that liked what I was putting out, actually liked me for me, that was a huge shift. That was something that I was not used to. That was something that I had never deep down believed was really, I mean, that's how kind of sick I was back then. I didn't have a frame of reference, right? I didn't, there wasn't any hard evidence, but that is when the hard evidence came. It's like, okay, if I was such a piece of crap, right? If I was so bad, if I was so unlikable, unlovable, whatever, why is this happening? Why am I getting thousands of clicks? Now I know I could be like some kind of, I could be a literal one of the jerks of YouTube, and people could just, click on me because they're, gawking or whatever, or because they go, I can't believe how stupid this guy is. It's actually very entertaining. I mean, I hope that's not how you guys view me. That would suck, but I don't think it is. No, I mean, I think a lot of you generally like me, and in a healthy way, and that I got to say, I can't thank you guys enough for that. And obviously there's some things I got to do behind the scenes to make sure that that doesn't turn, like it does sadly to a lot of YouTubers, into complete fucking narcissism, which, I have to work on a daily basis to keep that at bay. Oh, thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Um, you know, my friend Casper says, keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Hey, I want to give you props, man. Not to put you on blast, but you're one of those good guys out there that helps keep society running, and I want to tell you how much I appreciate that. I give those guys right now the same respect that I give to that people give me when I tell them I'm a veteran. I have that same level of respect for guys like you that do that, man. It's yeah. So I just wanted to say that. And that I didn't start with those kind of feelings, but especially the past several years, I've really kind of opened my eyes about that. You know, um, one, not everyone can do that, and two, it's a lot of hard effing work. And I know because obviously I was a veteran, so I'm no stranger to the triple D stuff. Triple D meaning dirty, dangerous, and difficult. You know, that's what I did. That's what you do, man. So I just want to respect on that. And thank you for the super chat again. Yeah, but yeah, it was kind of a shocker. And then, I was in my head for a lot of years before this happened. I wasn't sure if I was swimming upstream, futilely with this channel, if I was going against, I dare say, the will of God or the gods, whatever you want to insert there. Um, you know, against the fate of the universe, whatever it is. I could just, be, doing an exercise of futility with this program. Like if I was just, this was just another bad idea I had, or if this was actually my purpose and my path. And I struggled with that for a while, but when I got this, it was shouted at me loud and clear that this is what I'm supposed to do. I think you have a unique approach to your videos, as in quality of content is just as important as, more important than the number of views. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And she's not just saying that because, because let's just say we've known each other for a long time. It, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to bring some authenticity to the world. I guess that's kind of my goal here, Oh, okay. What is that? That's a big one. Thank you so much for the super chat, Zom. No matter how much it was, man. I honestly just getting them. I really just flattered that I get them at all. I mean, grateful that I get them at all. Like, that's the thing, man. If this was Sesame Street, and I had to pick something that this Sesame Street was brought to you by, today's Sesame Street would be brought to you by the word gratitude. I gotta say. I guess you could say perseverance on top of that too. Gratitude for all of you. Gratitude, I don't ever want to forget what it was like when I had zero. I don't ever want to forget what it was like when I went out to dinner and celebrated because I got my first video that hit 1,000 views. Just views, not even subscribers. I wasn't even partnered. Oh, and you know what? I want to give a thanks to. I haven't mentioned this game in a long time. Hell, I might play it again just for nostalgia purposes. I'm really not interested in the game anymore, but Kenshi, man. Kenshi, thank God I made those videos, man. Kenshi, that game told me it was possible. But then, after Kenshi, I was kind of lost and didn't know what to do. And I guess I'm telling the story here. And, I tried different things. I even tried Minecraft, but that's actually what I did first, and that didn't really work at all. But Kenshi went somewhere, and it was small at first, but over time it got more and more popular, and then I got started popping off, but then I got a blood clot in my lungs. That happened. Some of you were around for that. By the way, I want to thank all of you that were around for that. That is special. That is fucking cool. I gotta say, sticking with me through that. When, for all you know, I was never coming back. Right? I didn't really make content for almost a year and a half, maybe more. I mean, I was intents and purposes out, content wise. I still had my channel up. I would respond occasionally, but I was living the WoW Classic life back when Burning Crusade first got released. When I heard that it was announced, I wanted to do it because I knew it was a once in a lifetime thing, and I wanted to play Wrath of the Lich King again. Unfortunately, that really didn't happen very well. Little did I know. But you know what? I got to finish the entire Burning Crusade content legitly and do some of the hardest things in that game and in all games ever made. And that's something I'm proud of. I don't. Part of me does regret it because I think if I had just put effort into my channel instead of doing that, I'd be a lot farther. But we could what if all day long. But really, I think it was a privilege for me to be able to go back and down at least complete Burning Crusade because I had never done that and proved to myself, it's kind of like, why do people climb mountains? There's no point in it. Well, that's not why we do it, man. We do it for the challenge, and that's what it was. And on my crowning achievement in that game, I beat Kael'thas. We did the eye, and I beat Kael'thas unnerfed. We killed him once, and then it got nerfed, and we worked him for a couple months, and it was a very, very difficult fight. Are you guys hearing my voice? It says it's coming through. I'm seeing it on the mic aux. So, by the way, I need to play some music. It's getting a little quiet in here. Hold up. Playlists. Yeah, we'll just do that. So, you guys aren't hearing my voice on the stream? Okay, you hear me? Okay, cool. All right, so it's a client, it's client side then? Okay. Yeah, you might want to check your stuff, man. So client side means that it's you, not me. Nothing wrong with that though. Yeah, so but back to my story. I did Burning Crusade for about a year and a half. I did the whole thing through. I got with a really good guild. Possibly the best guild I've ever ran with up until a certain point. And I'm really, I don't even want to say that. They weren't bad people. It's just their goals evolved into something that I don't think was their original intended purpose. And especially when I, became a part of them. I think, and they wanted to change into something that, that I simply couldn't do. They wanted to do things I simply just could not do. And I'll be humble and say I just didn't have the skill to do what they were asking me to do, what they were expecting of me. I mean, their expectations, like they wanted me to do these, I'm not a spreadsheet guy, right? I'm a performance guy. I get the job done. That's all I care about. I don't care how I got there. I don't care what the numbers were or what the EP looks like. I just give a shit about down in the boss, about clearing the content and doing it as best as I can, and everybody else doing it as best as they can, and nobody holding anybody back. That's what I cared about, but they wanted more. They wanted to play at a professional level, and I just was not ready for that at all. I wanted to, part of me wanted to, but really, the expectations. So when they benched me, and they did, they benched me. I'm not going to have any pride or ego about it. They benched me. But you know what? Zug and Tug, I want to thank you for benching me. Fuck yes. Thank you so much. That was one of the coolest things you ever did for me, was bench me. Because now I got this. And now I might have still gotten this, but it was that benching. It was them benching me, and which basically ended my World of Warcraft run, probably forever. I will not play the modern version. I do not like it, and I will just leave it at that. And also, I don't think really classic Wrath of the Lich King can ever be replicated. I quickly found that out because there were scummy, silly things in classic Wrath of the Lich King that weren't there before. And it really tarnished and kind of ruined the experience for me. Almost time to restart. Fuck you. Not now. Go away. You're not restarting on my damn stream. What? Dude, Windows 11, guys. Windows 11, I'm telling you. So, honestly, can I turn this off? of Windows. What? No. Okay. You're not restarting now. Okay, we're gonna pause the updates. Let's see. Pause for 5 weeks. F you. All right, there you go. See this middle finger, Windows? You can't see it on camera because I like to keep it as PG as I can. But Windows 11, you can go F yourself. I hope Steam bankrupts you. That's what I hope happens. I hope Steam bankrupts you, but it never will because you cater to offices and businesses. You don't cater to us. You don't cater to the people that really do care about your product. Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't want to get into that. I'm not turning this stream negative, guys, but so World of Warcraft, I got benched, and so I was like, what do I do now? And I was like, well, I'm definitely doing YouTube now. I'm feeling better. I recovered from the blood clot in my lungs that almost killed me. I was actually lifting. And now I made a little commitment with myself. I said, okay, I'm gonna meditate every day for about a year and do a little bit of journaling. And I did that. And you didn't think, yeah, I want to, but I'm not gonna. You think that something little like that, like some of these people that say make your bed, I think that's a lot more powerful than make your bed, honestly. Not taking a shot at those people. But but that was that for me. That seemingly subtle change, that's when my shit started popping. I made a short. Yeah, I remember the first short I made. So I want to thank shorts. A lot of you guys hate shorts. You know what? I hated shorts too. But when I uploaded my first short, because I was so weak and unmotivated from my, past experiences, the whole trauma of last year, shorts seemed like the only thing I could do, that I had the energy or the strength to do. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just make a short. Why not? We'll see how it is. And my eyes bulged out of my sockets when I saw that in less than a day it had 1,200 views. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Really? So I got a taste of it. I did. I got a taste of it, and I saw that. But then, of course, it did what the algorithm loves to do, and I definitely want to rant about this, but I'm not going to today, especially after now. I basically got throttled. And I am going to call it for what it is. I got fucking throttled. There is no explanation for the numbers I've seen over the years. I have had so many videos you guys don't even know where I looked at it and the numbers were exploding, only to go as flat as a flat line in a hospital bed. Beep! And those were not views. They were views technically, but the impressions did it first. So YouTube did it first, not my viewers. It never even got to them. That is artificial. You had to seen it. I could post screenshots. Possibly. It hasn't happened in a while, but I'm very careful about this. There are things I do now to try to prevent that from happening. But it's not foolproof. I don't think anybody really knows what's really going on in this YouTube game. You got all these theorists. Don't ever believe that, to fellow prospective YouTubers, do not believe these third-party companies that try to sell you stuff, trying to make you believe that if you buy their product or sign up for their subscription, that they're going to get you, you're going to magically get 100,000 subscribers overnight. It's bullshit. It's utter bullshit. Hags and all that stuff. None of that matters. Oh, I am in rant mode. Hey, here we go. We got the rant, right? No. That's a no thank you to those people. No thank you to that. More of an F you to that. how many hours and time I wasted. You know what I do today with tags? Nothing. Nothing. And you guys see the same description in every single one of my videos, and they still get thousands of views. It don't matter. There is no predicting it. Okay? This is a Wizard of the Oz scenario. But the curtain has not been pulled back. So we have no idea who's behind that curtain. It could be a god, it could be just a dude, like in the Wizard of Oz. But that's it. That's our situation as creators. YouTube is the Wizard of Oz, and we don't really know who the Wizard of Oz really is. Is it really this technique that works or that technique? Nobody knows. I don't think anybody knows. YouTube is a weird animal. Anybody who says that they know the secret of YouTube is lying their ass off, okay? Now, there are theories, and some of them seem to hold up more than others. One of them, and I do believe this is true, but again, this is just a theory. We will never know for sure. YouTube doesn't tell anybody anything. Is shorts plus videos equals growth. You got to do both. You can't just do one or the other normally, unless your shorts are going viral all the fucking time. And if they are, great. You probably have a huge marketing team behind you. You probably got a huge team, period. Like Mr. Beast or whatever. Not that I have any opinion about that guy. I'm just using his numbers as an example and his format as an example. No, we're not having those kind of opinions today, guys. Don't want to get in trouble. Yeah. So any controversy or debate or any controversy I stick to gaming. I do not go to any other area because that can jeopardize my channel. I've seen it happen many, many times, so there's really no point in me giving opinions about that stuff live on this channel. There's just no point, and that's why I don't do it. Because nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to do anything except lose my channel at the end of the day. So I just don't want to do that. So I'm not going to go there. I do my best not to go there. I'm even the closest I get to it is with the carnivore stuff, and I might even have to stop talking about that at some point. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so World of Warcraft ended. I put out a short for it, though. It gets a ton of views at first, and then it gets throttled. It was bizarre. You should have seen it. And then, I'm sure some guru could tell me why. He doesn't know. Nobody knows, man. Nobody knows why he does that shit. Heard every theory under the sun. Anyway, so I was like, you know what? So I was done with World of Warcraft. I'm like, you know what? And that's when I started getting into Stellaris. I was like, this game's really cool. I've been getting into it for a little bit, and I was like, I'm just gonna cover random games and see what happens. And you know what, guys? I'm actually gonna do something for you, if I can. Just give me a minute. We're gonna take a short break. I'm gonna set something up for you guys because it kind of sucks looking at a dead screen. I'm gonna give you some gameplay to look at. Okay? Just give me a second here. I'm gonna load up one of my videos I took recently. It doesn't have any micro, it doesn't have any vocals or anything. It just has gameplay. Let's see here. Hold on. So let's see. There's media source. What do we got here? All right, so first I want to see. You gotta give me a minute here. Okay, when was this? I think. Okay. I think this is it. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go to the earliest date here. Give me a second. Maybe this one? Okay. Um, I'm actually gonna give you guys a treat. This is actually a build I'm gonna showcase. I'm gonna give you a sneak peek into it actually. Not that one. Okay, so that was my stream. Don't want that. Okay. So this is actually my sisters and sons now. Is this full? Okay, this was when I was dumb and left the recording button on. Okay, so we'll just go with this one. Um, Hold on. I gotta name these. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, I'm almost ready to put this up. And we'll go through here. Okay. And so we'll turn Stellaris off and we'll turn the media source on. And is it playing? Oops, let's go ahead and okay. All right, guys. So let me take the break off here real quick. So what you guys are seeing is footage that I have yet to upload. This is the Sisters of Silence video that I am going to get around to doing. I have the footage. I just got to I got to edit it and everything. Put my voice on it, my glorious voice. You know, jokes about hearing my own voice aside. Figured I'd joke about it, or else I'd get a little uncomfortable. All right. So, yeah, Stream Hype. What's up? Drip Priest in Discord. By the way, people in Discord, I just want to let you know they cannot hear you. Okay, so you're good. You don't need to be. You're not on the stream if you don't want to be. So, you know, so no, the stream's not going to hear what you say. You guys are fine. I have the sounds separated. That's another cool thing that this dude. Oh, a thank you to they're not sponsoring my channel at all. I'll just make that clear. There are no sponsors for this channel as of right now. But SteelSeries, this headset is legit. Okay, this is coming from a small creator. This thing was a game changer. I didn't like it at first. It was complicated a little bit. There was a slight violent bump of a learning curve, but after that, everything's good. And it solved a lot of issues that I've been having with sound for a long time. They did a really good job with this headset. There's a reason I think everybody rants and raves about it. It's justified. But anyway, like I said, not endorsing them officially. They're not sponsoring this channel, so don't worry, YouTube. There's none of that going on. I'm not getting paid for this. No, they legitimately have a good fucking product.
Recon pass
I
completed.
hope someday maybe they'll sponsor me. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe when I get 100, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, anyway, so I came out with my first Stellaris short. It was, oh, let me pull it up, actually. I'm going to pull it up. Freaking. Oh, this is going to take, actually, no, let me search for it. Well, let's type Stellaris and see what we come up with. That's still gonna have a lot of hits, though. Probably gonna have to. Let's look at shorts. I think it was. Can I go? Oh, you know what? Maybe go by date. Yes. Switch the date. Okay, so. Yeah, so I did Wrath of the Lich King tips. And then I did some 7 Days to Die, and some of those did. One of those did okay, but the rest were dog shit. And I'll talk about 7 Days to Die some other time. It's actually one of the saddest parts of my channel. It's like the game I would for a long time I really wanted to be known for. I wanted to be known for it, but I better take these shoes off or I'm gonna start having cramps. And I am not having fucking cramps on the stream. Fuck that. Okay? All right, so but no, let's see. I think it was so I came out with how to build your first starbase. And I mean it's got 4,000 views now. It's been out for I can't believe it's only been out for 2 years. That can't be right. Didn't I? Maybe it was. Yeah. This did happen in 2003 or 2023. That's right. Okay. So. I don't know. This just doesn't look accurate. It doesn't look accurate at all. No, I don't think so. This is I don't. Well, okay. I guess we'll just say building your first starbase. Anyway, one of them blew up. Well, not blew up, but they did okay. And I was like, you know what? I'll do another. And so I did another Stellaris short, and then I did another, and that one did okay. Some of them didn't do okay, but then I kept going because I liked the game, and and then I came out with a Habitats video, and now that is obsolete as shit now, and I still have not updated it. I want to apologize for that. You guys deserve an apology from me on that. Yes. Sadly, that's not the last thing I'm gonna apologize for, too. I'm aware that I told you guys a long time ago I was gonna update Habitats, and I never did. Life happens, right? I mean, I have all these good intentions, and it's flipping a coin whether they come true or not sometimes. Not proud of it, but I'm working on it. But then I came out with this short. And I'll tell you, this short, I half-assed this short. I'm going to be honest. I was just pumping at this point. I didn't think much of it. And I learned from a previous video, actually a long time ago, long before that I learned a very hard lesson in putting too much effort into a video, into any single video. Like putting your heart and soul into it, because there are always expectations attached with that. And if that video not only doesn't do as well as you want, but just goes dead, which many have, I tell you, that's the hardest thing in this business. If I had to pick something, that is the toughest thing to get through in this business. 100%. When you sweat, bleed, and cry over a video, and it gets nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nothing. Nothing. Not a damn thing. I don't hate you guys for it. No hate. No hate coming from me on you. It's just the way it is. That's the business. If you can't handle that, you don't belong here. This ain't for you.
Anomaly found.
It is soul crushing. Let me tell you. It is one of the most soul-crushing things I've gone through. It doesn't sound like it's a big deal. Trust me. When you put the work into it like I have, and you're like, yeah, people are going to love this. And then it, not only do they not love it, it just does nothing. Man, few other things in my life made me want to break something. You know, and just out of frustration at myself. It's not really mad at you guys. But anyway, so I learned a long time ago never to put my full effort into something. Like, never kill myself over a video. You know, YouTube, I didn't mean it like that. Sorry. Never, you know, sacrifice too much to make a video. Put too many eggs in one basket is kind of the principle, right? Because if that video fails, I mean, you're kind of rolling the dice there on that. I mean, I could have professional editing and everything. Yeah, it'll help. But at the end of the day, I mean, I had this one video. It was about Medieval Dynasty. It was the reason, and that video was the reason I've never done another one. Because I really worked hard on that video. I did. Now, within my comfort zone, but it reminded me of why I don't put full effort into videos. Or any of my work, which sounds really counterintuitive. It sounds really bad, but trust me. It has the worst like ratio I've ever seen in any of my videos. And I don't know, and there's no comments telling me why. I've even left comments, some of you might have seen it, going, hey, can anybody tell me why this didn't perform? Can somebody tell me what was wrong with this video? I can't see anything wrong with it. I mean, it got a lot of views. It got a decent amount of views. Hell, look at it now. It's probably got like 20,000 probably. I mean, it's been a while since I came out with it. But, dude, like, I polished that the fuck up.
Ground forces are dropping on
target.
At
least at the time. Now, I probably could do a better job now, but at the time, that got close to my best work.
Ground objective
secured. And I thought it was going to do really well. And, you know, and it crawled just like the rest of them. It did stuff, but it was mediocre at best. It definitely wasn't my best performer. I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, maybe people just don't want to watch it. I don't know. I didn't think of it, but then when I saw that like ratio, that hurt. I was like, what did I do? You know, that was going through my head. I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, wouldn't you feel that way? You're like, what did I do wrong? Was it something I said? You know, that's kind of like, that's what's going through my mind. I thought I did such a great job with it. You know what they were upset about? Or you know why they didn't give me love? I'll tell you why. Because I didn't have another person in that video doing multiplayer with me. That's it. At least that's my theory. That's the conclusion I came to after hours of investigation into this video. Because I wanted to know why. I was like, what can I do better here? What could I have done better? And I guess because people didn't see another person in my game, or maybe, or like, I didn't,
construction complete.
Demonstrate somebody coming into the game. They needed that visual or something. I mean, I told them all the mechanics of how to make co-op work, and I mean, they still didn't get it. Okay, I throw up my hands on that one. But like I said, that's the nature of the business. You can't control other people, and they don't think the way you do, and you're not, and they shouldn't. You know, I don't want people to be a clone of me. There's only one me. There's only one you. I mean, we all bring different strengths to the table. It's fine. It just, you know, as a human being with an ego, I still have an ego, even though I try to keep it in check. It bruised the ego a little bit. It was like, oh damn, you know, and you know, so
spaceport lost to enemy action.
But then here's the other reason I do it. So that's the negative reason. The other reason I don't put full effort in my videos, because I've got this other one, I'm going to name it in a second, that I didn't even think about when I was making it. I was just making it to make it. Just to do the, you know, I was just doing the grind. I wasn't thinking much of it. It wasn't a big deal to me. And it turns out to be my most successful piece of content I have ever made in my life. And that is Stellaris Tips, How to Build a Battleship. It is still getting 200 views a day. For my channel, that is decent. It has been a cow a literal not cash cow, but, or yeah, actually, literally, technically. It has made me a little bit of money, not much. But the thing has 145,000 views and counting. In fact, this is so ridiculous. I am actually really seriously considering hauling off and making a follow-up to this, making a 4.1 version of how to build a battleship, and just put the 4.1 tag on it, and make it, and just basically,
New sit rep.
you know, what does that look like now? You know, I'll tell you off the top of my head what it'd be. You know, so it'd be a lot different than I have in that video. It'd be a carrier for one. It'd have missiles, swarmer missiles, and it have strike craft for one. But it might also have a couple other things that you wouldn't think of. But really, that's my go-to in Stellaris now. That's what I whoop the computer's ass with every time I get that far. It's, you know, but I mean, the battleship in there, it's decent too. Battleships are just decent, period. But especially when you got the artillery, I think really, and if you guys want to know really how I feel about fleet meta right now, I'm starting to gravitate towards, at least in endgame, having an equal amount or an equal ratio of artillery battleships to carrier battleships, and kind of have a mixture of them with some corvettes to, you know, and destroyers to do screening, you know, to keep things from getting too close.
System reconnaissance completed.
You know, and they all have X-slot weapons, and that's basically, but really, I could get rid of the small ships and just have the battleships and be just fine in most cases. I just have the little ships as an added layer of security, if anything. You know, for the occasional frigate that might have gotten through if I didn't have those. So, speaking of which, Paradox, if you did actually give torpedoes a counter and actually made point defense and flak work on them, clap for you. You should have done that from the beginning. Wink, wink. But, hey, better late than never, right? Yeah, torpedoes were broken for a very long time. They almost made me quit playing Stellaris, I gotta be honest. I was like, this is BS, man. Like, there's no paper, rock, scissors here. Really, if you're gonna have balanced obsession, either follow the paper, rock, scissors model or go home. There's no other way to do it. There really isn't. It's just the law of the universe. Okay? You can't have something that can't be beaten by anything in a game. If you're going to care about balance. If you're going to care about balance, you cannot have something that there's no answer for. And torpedoes for a long time was something, at least in my games, that there was no answer for. There really wasn't. Other than, I guess, Strikecraft. Strikecraft did work, but only to a point, you know? It could still wreck your day if they ended up on top of you or whatever, right? And also, okay, I'm off topic, but anyway, the battleship, I came out with the battleship video, and that is getting me views and subs to this day. So thanks to that, and thanks to you guys that watched that. It's extremely outdated, I gotta say, and yeah, look, guilty as charged. Why have I kept it up this whole time? Come on, guys. I'm a human being. You know, I'm a YouTuber. That's why it's up. I'm not going to can this video just because it's old. You guys keep watching it. You don't like it, don't watch it. I mean, really. What can I say? I mean, guilty as charged. Hey, I'm human too, man. I'm not gonna stop. It's like you're asking me to take down a video that continues to bring people to my channel. I mean, criticize me all you want, but would you do it? No. I doubt it. Yeah, I don't think anybody's got that much integrity, okay? Now, to be fair, you just look at the date, and I have posted about this. I have made videos saying, hey, I'm aware that a lot of these videos aren't 100% current. You got to look at the date just like you would any other tutorial video. Okay? And if you don't look at the date, that's not my problem. That's on you. I have no control over that. Now, I do have control over leaving him up, but you can't ask a YouTuber to take down all his content. No YouTuber will do that. I'm telling you right now. Only the crazy ones will do that. Okay? Or the ones that they absolutely do not give a single damn about their channel. And you know what? I do give a damn about this channel. You know, if I were to delete the Battleship video, that would be permanently removed from my channel, and those views would be permanently removed. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Sorry. You can't make me do that. No, unless you're YouTube. Yeah, not gonna happen. Now, I could put old next to it. I have done that before, but really, is it really obsolete? That's still a good Battleship in there. That'll still work. So I'm not really... I don't think I can get too much hate over it. Really. I mean... And I don't really think... I don't think I'm really being deceitful by leaving it up. I really don't think so. If you think so, leave a comment. I mean, you disagree with me, whatever. Nope.
Field engineers have cleared a blocker.
Nope. No phone calls right now. This is one of those times. One of those rare times where I don't take any calls. But anyway, we'll talk to him later. You know what, though? I am going to do my duty, and I will doing my 10K sub stream live right now. You okay? And so there we go. Making sure he's all right, and as long as it ain't an emergency, I am not gonna take that call. So, anyway, so I came out with that video. Then according to this log here, I came out with how to build
field engineers have cleared a
defense
blocker.
platform. So I kind of just went down the line, you know. I gave my take on all the pieces of content that interested me, that I thought that maybe people hadn't already been done to death, you know. Pardon the noise, that just, you know, WhatsApp going off. So, you know, like, I mean, yeah, and then, you know, there are some other ones. And the next, let's see. So the next big hit for me,
construction complete.
You know, placing research labs has done very well over the years.
Field engineers
you guys seem to really like that, and you know, I think it's still pretty relevant, honestly. Now, obviously,
system reconnaissance
the game has changed a lot, but I think really relatively the same principles still
Recon
apply
pass
to
completed.
when to do research labs. Like, you don't want to make a bunch of research labs if you're in a consumer goods deficit, right? And you want to specialize whenever you can, you know. Yeah, and you want to have enough population to fill the jobs for them. So, yeah, there's a lot of these videos I could you know, touch up and redo. Honestly, I thought about just reacting to them, you know, being lazy and just reacting to them, simply because there's no way I have enough time to redo every single one, right? Sometimes you can learn things from old videos. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing too, you know. You always put the version into your video name so people can't get misled. That is true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, man. Dude, I already got 1,000 this week. I mean, so yeah, I did. So I came out with many shorts.
Complete.
I did many shorts for a while. No, hold on. Actually, okay, videos. That's right. Okay, so I did shorts, but I never told you about my videos. Let's go ahead and... Okay, so... Yeah.
Recon pass completed.
Kenshi is exactly where it was last time I checked a long time ago. But, yeah, so... You know, I did Empyrean, and Empyrean is a weird thing. It's actually still getting views to this day. You know, one of the huge disappointments in my channel's
Anomaly
lifetime?
found.
Fucking Valheim. I don't know how the fuck my Valheim videos didn't do anything. Like, they were just completely dead. Ah, yes. Okay. So my first video with Stellaris was resource management. And that did well enough to make me go, you know what? I think I've got something
System
here.
reconnaissance completed.
That's when I started making Stellaris content on the regular. That's what sucked me in. Yeah, that's what brought me in like the mob, you know? See, and then I did yeah, habitat building, you know. That was my first decent performer. And then but then after that, now, wow. Talk about a dead video. It still only has 700 videos. Man. Yeah. DLC
Field
expansion
engineers have
tier
cleared a
list.
blocker.
Actually, if I wanted new video ideas, I could just revisit the old ones. So, another huge disappointment on my channel. There's this format I was trying to do for a while, off and on, but every time I did it, I got my hand slapped. And it was the story narration format. I thought I had a lot of potential, was really good at it, but apparently you guys didn't like it. I mean, you know, or YouTube didn't like it. I don't know which one it was, but I did Driven Assimilator. Now, some of you really liked those videos, but like, sadly, you guys seem to be a small minority. And you know, it is the business at the end of the day. It's just the way things are. I do have to follow the numbers to a degree, though I have changed my stance on that recently, and I still stand by it. You know, at the end of the day, though, you know, I gotta chase that bread like everybody else. So I'm not gonna cover something that gets me 0 views, right? Or 0 views relatively compared to something else
Field engineers
that
have
I'm
cleared
just
a
as
blocker.
interested in doing that gives me, you know, way more. I'm gonna do that video. Sorry. So yeah, unfortunately that one flopped. But with the new format I have, I think I can actually make that format really shine. So I actually do want to try it, and I may actually try it with Sisters of Silence. Somebody dropped. Okay, well, I think it was Casper. Maybe he fell asleep again. But yeah, he apologized to me for that.
Skywatch has sighted a spaceborne life form.
I was like, "No, don't worry about it, dude. You have a tough job." And then I came out with Vassals, trade management. Vassals actually continues to do well. I think Vassals are kind of like being accepted as a style of play now. That's more acceptable than it was before. And now I want to tell you guys what video got me partner. So I was having a problem with my videos. I was on my way. I had 1,000 subscribers, and that was great. I lost my shit. It was about as cool as getting this, right, for me. But I still wasn't partnered. I needed 4,000 hours. 4,000. I had like maybe 3,000. I can't remember what the number I had. But this video tipped that into the net. This video got me the 4,000 hours I needed to get partnered. And that is the original complete beginner
Science
tutorial.
Division report success.
And the reason it tipped the watch time is because it was 1 hour and 20 minutes. And it was a standalone hour and 20 minutes. It was a compilation of many parts I made, which is exactly what I'm doing now. It's actually the 2.0 version of this, what I'm doing now. Obviously, the one I'm doing now, you know what? I don't even need to put my heart and soul to it. This thing's going to be a banger compared to this. I have so much more skill now, so much better editing. I mean, you know, so much better techniques and more polish than I've ever had before. I cannot imagine it not outperforming this at least a little bit. And honestly, I you know, we'll get to that. So then we get to a video that A couple actually that I think I'm actually one of my most disappointing videos. Like for me, like where I think and scratch my head and go when I watch it, I go, dude, I could have done way better than that. Like, work that I felt bad about, that I felt like was not my best work. Leaders was one of those. And then I think there was a follow-up to that too. I think it was after Paragons. I tried to do a guide on that. I just sounded really low energy, tired, and slow. No wonder it didn't get the same numbers that I usually got. I don't blame anybody for looking at that and going, kind of feeling sorry for me. Maybe give me a view because they felt sorry. I don't know. That's all in my head, right? I'll tell you what, it's a huge... the video that actually really got me to believe, okay, this is YouTube. This is not any me or my viewers or anything else. This is just YouTube being an asshole. And that's orbital rings. Let me tell you a story about orbital rings. When I first came out with that took the fuck off. Like, it exploded. Hell, it was going so fast, for a second there, I thought it was going to go viral. I was like, wait, is this thing going to go viral? This thing is, woo, this is crazy. And then it just stopped. It's like YouTube went, down, boy, and pulled it back by its collar. That's what it really looked like. I swear to God, it looked so artificial. It was scary. It was pretty creepy, actually. I mean, you don't go from that kind of growth to nothing in one day. That makes no sense. That is 100% artificial. There's nothing organic about that at all. There's no me in there or you in there. It's just YouTube being an asshole. And that's when I really started to form the opinion about the algorithm that I have today. I don't know, guys, but my mic turned off for... Okay. What is going on? All right, so my headset's... can you guys hear me at all? Let me look at my post here. Okay, need to go AFK for a while. Okay, see you later, Mother Duck. Yeah, hey, thanks for coming by. No matter what, thank you all for coming by. Really appreciate you guys coming by. And those of you that couldn't be there, I appreciate you too. I want to give a shout out to my family. My dad, my mom, my stepmom, all everybody in my life that behind the scenes that's been supporting me all these years. Just the fact that you guys, not one of you guys, not even my dad told me, oh no, you can't do that. None of you guys were a naysayer, and I want you to know how much I appreciate that and how cool that is. That really tells me you guys, you guys care about me. As Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I don't know why my headset was being stupid. If I'm having sound issues, please let me know. But like my headset like cut off. Is there anybody in chat? A couple of you guys are muted. I know Mom had to go. Kyle, can you hear me? Sorry, Zealot, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? I know my OBS can hear me. Or not? Okay, you can hear me. Okay. That's good then. All right. All right, you hear me? Okay, thank you. All right. So I don't sound like crap. I'm just seeing things here. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, YouTube, YouTube was not nice on
System
that video. That's when I
reconnaissance
first
completed.
realized that, okay.
System reconnaissance
I'm not,
completed.
look, I don't wear a tinfoil hat. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it would make sense if YouTube throttled new creators and kept them from going viral on purpose. I just want to say that. I don't think that's an unreasonable theory. I think that's pretty logical. If they were not being honest, and they're not, is anybody honest nowadays? I don't, you know, they want to make sure that the right people got viral and the wrong people didn't. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say who or what the criteria for that is. That's not the top of this channel, but I could see that throttle being a thing for a reason. We'll just put it that way. So I don't like it. I think it's bullshit. But you know, I mean, it does. It's like, you know, I think some of the worst ideas in this world were founded in logic. But anyway, all right, gonna back away from that type of discussion. But anyway, orbital rings, talk about a letdown. I mean, it's actually worse sometimes to, and that's another tough thing about the business, is to see your video shoot into the sky briefly and then burn out and just go dead, which is what that video did. And that was a real shocker to me. That's the first time I'd seen anything like that. And so then I came out with planet designation. Now, you know, I think planet designation is still okay because it's designations. I don't think those have really changed. They has changed a little bit. Like I said, basically, I already said in my video, any video about the planets, you know, are going to be largely inaccurate, obviously. So you gotta look at the date when you watch my videos. Again, I'll say it again. You gotta look at the date. Star bases, that was okay. So I tried the playthrough thing without editing. That was not popular. So I got my hand slapped on that.
Construction complete.
But I stubbornly tried it again and again because I wanted to be lazy and I wanted to be a lazy bastard. And yeah, you can't be too lazy. Nope. You got to do the work, at least some of the time. You don't have to work terribly hard all the time, but you do have to put some work in. You get what you put in, right? You know, megastructures. That one was okay. But the next huge one, there we go. This was pretty much my best performing video I've ever made, and that was ship design. Surprise, surprise. You guys really like that one. You Stellaris viewers. And then fleet composition shortly after. And yes, those are definitely due for a redo and a update. And I do have it in my mind. It is in my queue. That queue is long, though, but this would definitely make the top 10 list of things, of content that I want to come out with, at least eventually. And actually, with the new things I've learned about Stellaris, and yes, I'm still learning, even somewhat, definitely have enough material to be able to revise and update these. Especially what I told you about the half and half. You know, half and half artillery and carrier. Definitely not seen that wrong at all.
Anomaly found.
So I tried to go into 7 Days to Die again briefly. I came out with game settings, but that didn't do anything at first. But then it took off and kind of was steady for a very long time.
Ships refitted.
But it still did not get enough views to justify me going to that. So anyway, that's basically been most of, like, you know, Stellaris in a nutshell. Then I had the Economic Mastery guide. You guys really liked that.
Ships refitted.
Another huge disappointment. I really started picking up and enjoying Crusader Kings 3. I was like, dude, I could totally do a narration story off of this. I did it. And to this day, it still has only 741 views.
System reconnaissance completed.
Like I said, I felt like I put a lot of effort into it. And I think that was really the last time
Recon pass
I
completed.
really made a big effort, a concerted effort to really, really put my faith in a video when I made it, like 100%. Yeah, that was I think that was the last video that I put 100% effort into. After that, I said, I'm done. I'm done doing that for the rest of my career. I am not emotionally investing in a video like that ever again. To have it do that. Fuck that shit. No offense, guys, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, I learned. Another disappointment was my Dwarf Fortress videos. I felt I did those pretty good.
Science Division
they did
report
nothing.
Success.
Compared to my Stellaris videos, and and that started to be kind of a point of contention. I got to be honest with you guys, with me. Because, look, I don't know about other people, but I don't like the idea of being pigeonholed, okay? It has nothing to do with liking or hating Stellaris or liking or hating you guys. I just don't want to have all my eggs in one basket. I just don't. I want to cover many different games, and I struggle with that because it seemed like the only thing that gave me the numbers that I wanted was when I made Stellaris videos. I think that's a trap a lot of YouTuber creators fall into. More on that later. But then I kind of researched, I took a little bit of a break, but then I decided to full-on focus on Stellaris again, especially since I was playing it again, and they came out with some new changes, and I had finally figured out those changes. I figured out a better fleet composition than what I had before I found carriers, and so I started making, and I came up with a better thumbnail setup. My thumbnails got a lot better. And I figured out a couple techniques. You guys saw them in the first video I did. That was the Research Mastery Guide. Or no, it was the Economic Mastery Guide. And that one, you guys really liked that. And then you liked the Research Mastery Guide. And I do need to redo those two. Or at least the Economic one. The Economic one is high on the queue. Like, we're talking, as long as I'm pumping out Stellaris videos, I'm thinking for sure in the next 2 or 3 months, I'm going to be releasing. That's my prediction. It's not going to be my next one, but it's up there. Like I said, that video is definitely up in the queue. I have a lot to cover. I have a lot of new information that I've learned that I can share with you guys. And that's really what makes me make a video, is like, do I have more information I can share here? The Planet Mastery Guide, that was abysmal compared to the other ones. And then we had now my second most popular video that I've ever made is Stellaris 3.9 Megacorp Empire Guide, and that one is up there with the Economic Mastery video. I need to do this. This I'm especially interested in because this got a buff. Megacorp got a huge buff. 4.1 was a power boost for a couple reasons. The first one is trade got a lot more powerful.
Recon pass completed.
Trade is a lot more impactful than it used to be. And, I mean, that just naturally makes Megacorp more powerful. Naturally. But on top of that, they lifted a lot of the restrictions that Megacorp had, especially criminal heritage. Now, criminal heritage can actually get into commercial packs with friendly empires if they have, I think they have to be on friendly relations, right? They got to be on friendly. They got to have positive relations to do so. But if they have an embassy and they have a commercial pact agreement, they no longer build the criminal branches. They build the regular Megacorp branches, which is great. So you can double as a criminal syndicate, but then you can disguise yourself, and it doesn't break the lore or the immersion. You can lots of criminal businesses pass off as legitimate businesses, right? And why would a criminal heritage Megacorp be any different?
System reconnaissance completed.
So I think it fits the theme. So I think overall, from a roleplay standpoint, from a gameplay standpoint, from a numbers standpoint, it's just a buff all around. Yeah. Yeah, no, none of that this time, Cinetic. How you doing, man? Yeah, hard to make content for a game that completely changes their bets. Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. It is. It is one of the tough things about covering Stellaris. But I do love the game overall. You know, it's not my absolute favorite game, but it is up there. It's definitely up there. It's not my number one, but it's definitely up there. You know, so Megacorp, Hivemind also doing really well, especially now with the new content. And people are commenting positively about it.
Anomaly found.
The impression I'm getting from them, especially the Devouring Swarm video and the Hivemind, is, man, this stuff's still relevant even after Biogenesis release, especially after it released. So, yeah, you can still plug in and watch these videos and it'll be mostly accurate. Mostly. Of course, there's going to be some differences, like how the planets work. All my advice about the planets before the rework, obviously, are going to be obsolete and not accurate. Everything else, though, is largely unchanged. That's the thing. So, really, most of my videos are still mostly accurate, unless they specifically and only target planetary mechanics. Then, yeah, that one's going to be ate the hell up. But that's obvious. Yeah, Stellaris 3.10 liter guide, that was one of my most disappointing videos where I could have done better. In fact, I want to apologize right now for that video. I never did it formally. I kind of swept it under the rug, but I want to let you guys know that I do apologize for that video. That wasn't my best work. If any of you guys looked at that and were like, what the hell was he doing there? Yeah, I wasn't proud of that either. But you got to keep it up for the numbers, right? I mean, people might like it. I mean, there's so many videos I thought were shit that you guys liked that I didn't, you know? So everybody's got different tastes, right? Void Dwellers was decent, you know? Yeah, and then, you know, and then I made a tough decision, one of the toughest decisions I've ever made in my life. And that was, I decided to move to another country. So that's where that run
Anomaly
stopped.
Found.
And that's where my Philippines journey began. I'll tell you guys a little bit about it.
Construction complete. Battle debris secured.
I was watching YouTube videos and I came across some Japan videos and I was just curious. I had gotten into anime recently and you guys are really funny and ironic. For a long time, guys, I did not like anime. I didn't like Japanese anime. What can I say? I know, it's terrible. I feel bad about it now. I love the hell out of it now, but I didn't back then. I thought, I really judged the artwork style. I didn't like the artwork. I didn't like, you know, the way, you know, I didn't like how cartoony it was. It just kind of, yeah, it all seemed really weird to me. I judged the hell out of it, you know, unjustifiably. You know, contempt prior to investigation. I mean, yeah, I was just a different person back then, guys. I was not the best person back then. I was pretty sick, got to be honest. Had a lot of bad stuff going on that I didn't know better at the time. That I'm not proud of. But obviously not going to talk about that stuff here. But maybe some time, you know, bits and pieces. There are some things I just can't talk about. But anyway, yeah, I mean, but I decided after the glorious changes to modern media, and I will not tell you whether that's sarcasm or not. You will have to guess that on your own. I decided, you know what? Maybe there's more to anime than I originally thought. And so I started to explore. And I came across one of the greatest stories I have ever seen, heard, or
battle debris secured.
Saw in my whole life. And that, just going to say, it involved a character with a lot of blood and guts. Those
battle
of you that are
secured.
fans knows what I'm talking about. That guy, I
Fleet
identify with that
underway.
character more lore than any character in any story I've ever heard, any video game I've ever played. I have a hat with the brand of sacrifice on it. Put it that way. I don't get things like that. I want a poster. I'm going to have, one of these days, I am getting a poster on my wall of that. So how strongly I feel about it.
Completed.
I know what it's like to feel tormented day in and day out. And I'm not a big fat victim here. But
fleet action underway.
I had a lot of challenges, a lot of adversity growing up and just throughout my life. As you know, with the health problems and stuff, I really times did feel like I was cursed. And that's basically what was going on there. So, you know, but anyway, I got into anime. I really enjoyed it. I started enjoying more. In fact, yeah, I slowly but surely started to morph, sadly, into a weeb. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how to say it. There's no, I mean, I got the weeb virus, man. I did. I mean, I don't consider myself a total converted, a total convert, but yeah, completed. I mean, but yeah, like, and there's obviously some parts of the anime world that I will not partake in, and we're not going to talk about that, because I don't want anybody getting the wrong idea, and I don't want to touch that topic with a 10-foot pole, because it kills a lot of YouTubers, even if they're not guilty.
Recon
they could
pass
get
completed.
Misconstrued and screwed with it. I mean, you know how it is. So we're not going there. We're not talking about that shit. You guys know
Anomaly
what I'm talking
found.
about. It's stupid. Don't say it in the comments, please. Dude, just yeah. But anyway, I like most of anime. We'll put it that way. Most of the anime is really, really good. And what was most refreshing was the stories, especially to the slop that I had been exposed to in the past couple years at that point. And then I was like, okay, well, that got me interested in Japan and curious about Japan itself. So I started thumbing through YouTube one day, looking through Japan videos, and there was this guy who did live interviews of Japanese people
Anomaly
and
found.
foreigners in Japan, and asking them what things were like, and asking them what their opinion was and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to name this YouTuber. You know what? I will. Tentacles. No, that's a good one. No, that's the good part of anime. No, just kidding. The good old tentacle stuff. No, we're not doing that. Let's step away from that topic. But it is funny though. We have fun here. So,
Anomaly found.
But back to us saying, you know, I gotta thank him, Takashi from Japan, man.
Recon
that
pass
guy,
completed.
watching that guy, some of you guys may have heard of him. He hit 1 million subs recently. Yeah, I mean,
Science Division report success.
Yeah, that guy was money for me. That guy, he opened my eyes. I realized, wow. Okay. I'm going to tread delicately here because I do not want to get into politics. I'm going to be very careful with that. But I realized for the first time that everything I'd been taught about when I was a kid about how great America was and how, you know, we're the greatest country on earth and every other country is crap and blah, blah, blah. I mean, those of you outside the U.S., you don't know. Those of you in the U.S. know what I'm talking about. We were raised from
Recon
birth
pass completed.
to believe that we were the greatest country on earth. And in some ways, I think we still are. It's America's, you know, the United States is. But, you know, again,
New sit rep.
not getting into politics. That's as close as I'll ever get to it, guys. Because it is... It was on my mind when I made this decision a little bit. Well, when I looked at Japan and saw the way they were doing things, I'll just say it was very attractive. It was it made my eyes bulge out of their sockets. I'm like, I can't believe this is actually real. it's actually like this. Wow, I want to live there. I want to be a part of that. That's how I want things to be here, you know. I wish my country was like that, you know. A lot of things about
System
Japan
reconnaissance completed.
drew me, made me go realize that, you know, my country is not all that in a bag of chips.
Ships refitted.
And that then it dawned on me that, you know,
recon pass completed.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Recon
I mean,
pass
you
completed.
know, and that's the thing. Like I said, you know, like I said, I got to be very careful here. I don't want to get into politics. I really don't. Okay, I can't do that. Not on YouTube. It's not appropriate, at least for my goals for this channel. This is a gaming channel. This is not a political channel. I know some gaming channels do it. I'm not gonna.
Special project complete.
I have to be. I've got to be neutral. You know, part of me doesn't like it. You know, and I'll tell you what though. The moment that might change the moment I feel like there is no future on YouTube. Anyway, so, you know, as long as I'll be a good boy, as long as I'm getting paid, basically, or I see that there's a future here. You know, so I'll be responsible. I'll abide by terms of service, and whether I agree with them or not. So that's my stance there. But anyway, to move on, continue my story. So I started watching this guy. He did live stream interviews in Japan with seemingly real people. It didn't really look like he was paying them off. Didn't look like it was a setup or that it was a skit. It might have been, but I don't think it was. You know, the guy seemed pretty honest. I like what he said. You know, and it really opened my eyes and made me go, okay, wow, there are other countries out there that at least in some ways are better than my own, and the ways that they're better, I am really struggling with right now, and that's all I'll say.
Construction
and the
complete.
Things that I was struggling with where I was living at the time, all of that did not exist in Japan at the time, or it was very minimal compared to what was going on where I was at least where I was at. I'm not even going to tell you where I was at. I think even that's too much. But it got me thinking, and then I started getting Philippines videos naturally. I started with most of you expats, if you are watching, you know who she is. Most of us have seen her. Anybody that watches Philippines videos, her name's Filipina P. I started getting her videos on my feed. This is the first time I think I've come clean about this or talked about this on, you know, and wouldn't be a formal celebration without some you know, hidden stuff, without some sneak peeks, whatever, behind the scenes. Yeah, I started watching her channel, and that led me down the rabbit hole to being here. She wasn't the only reason. I follow a lot of other channels. I watched a lot of other channels. I absorbed that information like a sponge, and I realized, okay, and it, you know, I realized, okay, you know, my lease is almost up. I will say, without getting political or anything, any of that stuff, without being controversial, I will state facts. I am single, still am, and I was at the time. So there was that to consider. You know, so I heard that there were opportunities there, and, you know, so but that was not my sole reason. I want to make that clear. That was not my sole reason for going down there. That was just like one of the many reasons. And I did, so I thought about this for months, watched these videos more and more, just absorbed all the information like a sponge. And then finally, I think I had enough one day, and I finally decided, okay, I cannot stay here a moment longer than I have to. And at first, I will say this, yep, I'll say this. I'll go there very briefly. I will say this. It really dawned on me that I was making the right decision when I went to get a U-Haul, just a trailer, to leave, to get out of the town that I was in. Now, when I moved there, I'll tell you a story about when I moved there. I was in another state, and I graduated from college, and that state was kind of expensive, and I didn't really see myself being able to live there without a job, and I wasn't able to get a job right away, so I was like, okay, there's a city practically next door that's a lot less expensive on average at the time. It quickly changed after COVID. Nobody saw COVID coming. This was before COVID. So before COVID, I rented a U-Haul. I rented the biggest truck. I rented a trailer, hooked it to the back of that truck, put my car on it, and drove it to this other city in another state. Okay? You know, I did that. I did all of that. And you know how much it cost me? $500. $500 USD. That's how much it cost me. You want to know how much this trailer was going to cost me just so I could leave? $5,000. Yeah. That's when it hit me. You know, a wise man once said that the things you own end up owning you. I got that thrown on me like a bucket of cold water because I had to throw things out that, I had to throw things out that I was sentimentally attached to, that had been with me for almost a decade, that had helped me through the years, had been with me they were almost either. Yeah, hey guys, I don't know. Can you hear me? Check, check, check. Can you guys hear me? What's going on? Okay. Dude, my headset keeps turning off for no reason. I've got it plugged in. Let me check this real quick. Yeah, a big FU to sound issues, man. That's the second hardest part of the business. Fucking sound, man. Okay, so no sound at all. Why is this thing being a piece of crap? But you can hear me in Discord. So what is going on? I hear noise, but I don't hear anybody talking. Okay, so all right, so what's up here? Okay. So give me a second here. Hold on. Check, check, check. Okay. Okay, I can hear myself now. So my mic is working. But it's not registering. Did it like Ninja change the settings on me or something? Oh, that's media. Okay, that's media source. I'm sorry. Okay. Going out of my mind. All right. Okay. Okay. We're good now. Come on. Steel Series, I just praised you, and now you're cutting off on me for no reason when you've got full power. Stop doing that. All right. Anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna get out of this game here because I'm showing you guys my gameplay. Oh, did it end? I need to restart it. Okay, so I'll just restart it. So by the way, you guys are seeing footage of my latest footage on Sisters of Silence that I'm working on right now. I am gonna finish it at some point. Just I do want to keep working on my tutorial. I don't want to spread myself too thin, and I've still got Satisfactory to do. But anyway, so I'm gonna get through this. Yeah, it cost me $5,000, and that's when it really hit home that yeah, I need to leave. I can no longer be here, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I need to say. You guys know. I don't need to say anything. Really? Do I need to say anything? No. No matter what side of the political fence you're on, that's bullshit. It's 100% bullshit. And that's why I don't e-beg on this channel. I know what you guys are going through right now. A lot of you. Just hang in there. And like I said, don't keeping the opinions out of this, keeping the politics out of this as much as you can. Just, you know, yeah. So that's what happened. That's what happened. And then, you know, so I got a plane ticket and I flew out once and also not to put her on blast, but my mother was with me and I did not want her to, you know, she's not getting younger and I didn't want her to end her story there, so to speak, right? That wouldn't have been right. And that was hanging on me. And I'm like, no, she deserves to be in this other place, you know, with her family in this other place. I don't want her to be here if she goes. No, so I need to get her out of here. I felt the responsibility to get her out of there. But she came there to help me and support, you know, help. And we helped each other, to be clear. Like, I wasn't, like, living in her basement or anything. We were basically roommates. And, you know, my mom, you know, she was my mom for a long time, but she's also now my best friend. And, you know, throughout all that. And she took care of me when I had the blood clot in my lungs when she didn't have to. And I'll never forget that. And if she's listening, I want you to know that, yeah. Anyway. So I made it out of there. I threw away everything. I sold half of everything. The only things I didn't sell or throw away is the only stuff that I could fit in that small vehicle that I had. Because I couldn't even afford a U-Haul trailer. I couldn't even afford to leave. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. My numbers for Stellaris have been pretty good lately. Been really good, actually. As far as stream-wise. Satisfactory, not so much, but I think they'll come around. Yeah, so I flew out shortly after I brought my mother safely to her now home that she's been in and been very happy in, as far as I know, for some time, living with another member of her family that she enjoys hanging out with very much. And I'm glad I could do that for her. And, you know, so I was really happy about that. And we, you know, it was like we escaped, you know, we escaped. And I did feel like it was an escape. We were really hanging by a thread there. We were at our wits' end with a lot of things that were going on there. Can't talk about it because, you know, we can't really talk about it without getting into that stuff. So already too close to it already as it is. But there's no way of really telling you guys about this without touching that or rubbing up against it, right? So then I left. I flew out to Manila. Thankfully, I mean, the flight there wasn't too bad. Another thing that happened to me that really shook up my ability to make content during that time was I switched to, I became a carnivore. And it wasn't really by choice. It was be a carnivore or become morbidly obese again. And I did not want to do that. So I chose carnivore. And I started eating meat and I stopped eating carbs. And then that evolved into not eating plants. And then that evolved into getting off my meds. All of them. Getting off my supplements. Now, I want to be clear here. I do not telling anybody to get off their meds. That's none of my business. Do not pin that shit on me. There you go, YouTube. I said it. That's a disclaimer. I am not a qualified professional. I'm not qualified to tell anybody what to do with their meds. Do not put that on me. I'm not telling anybody to get off their meds. I'm just telling you that I did. And it worked for me. But I don't mean it'll work for you. There are people out there right now that if they got off their meds, they would become different people, and that's being nice about it. That's saying it nicely. They would just, yeah. I don't want that on my hands. I'm not responsible for that. Do not. I am not. Your meds are your business. I'm not telling anybody anything to do with their meds. You know, I'm gonna say the party line. Talk to a professional. Don't talk to, you know, I'm not here to give advice about meds at all. I'm not qualified. So, yeah, I don't have any qualifications, or I'm not an expert in that at all. So I'm not qualified to do that. Definitely just want to swear up and down. There, see, okay, YouTube, I said it there, okay? About your meds, that's on you. That's your decision to make. What you do, that's up to you. I'm not telling anybody to get off their meds. It's none of my business. But I did. And some people were mad at me about it. There were a couple people that were like, what the hell are you doing? But then they quickly changed their tune once I started getting the results that I've gotten that have continued to this day. I landed in Manila, and I was really scared. I was alone. I was paranoid. I had all these fears. But I got through them. And I was carnivore. I had to learn different ways of eating. I had to learn different ways of living. I had to live alone again. I hadn't lived alone in 7 years. You know, I'm still doing it. And it's going just fine, you know. And you know, I'm not going to get into all that either. That's another topic that we're not going to talk about. You know. And yeah, but you know, and life is great. Life is great here. I don't have problems. The only problems I have are me. That's it. I'm the only problem. I brought me with me. I brought me and all my problems with me. So, you know, wherever I go, there I am. That definitely is still a thing. But for once in my life, the grass was actually greener on the other side. Everything here, except one thing, probably guess what that is, worked out even better than I hoped. You know, I got everything that I asked for coming here. I'm not really going to name what they are. Like I said, there's no way I can do that without brushing up on that stuff. But I want to tell you guys, today I look out at I'm in a 20-story apartment. You know, I'm on the 20th floor. I have a beautiful view of the city. There is a Texas Roadhouse, I shit you not, a Texas Roadhouse right below me. You know.
Fleet action underway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, I mean, exactly. I don't even want to go there, man. I mean, you know, shit. There's some influencers right now. There's some bad things happening, dude. I gotta say that. That's it. I'm not gonna say any more. I just want to keep it to gaming. But I want to talk about my life because you know, this is a 10K sub celebration. I think, you know, you guys should get to know me a little more. So
ground forces are dropping on target.
Every day, every month that I'm on carnivore is a little better than the last. My brain is functioning better.
Ground objective secured. Station reports enemy contact.
I'm faster. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I dare say I'm sexier. I honestly, and yeah, that brings its own troubles. I mean, I look way better than I did. I don't look perfect. I don't ever think I look perfect. I'm just but I mean, I was looking in the mirror today and I was like, I had to do a double take because I swear for a second there I almost saw a six pack. I was like, nah. I looked closer. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't have a six pack. Yeah, I think I would fucking faint. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Everything across the board is improving. I will tell you a couple bad things that have happened about being on carnivore. Cramps. I have been my biggest struggle this entire year. They have caused me so much unmanageability. The unmanageability that I do have, that's mostly what's been behind it. I've had these horrific cramps for the past 2 years. Well, they started out as horrific, but I quickly learned how to stop them. Or not quickly. It took about a half a year for me to finally get what I needed to do to stop having them. I'm going to share that right now. The first thing I did, okay, no, nothing against people who take this product or any of the products that the carnivore influencers recommend, and I'm not saying the carnivore influencers are lying, okay, or that they're trying to be manipulative or deceitful. I know they mean well. But, dude, you don't need fucking Element or any of this other shit. You don't. You know what I do to get my electrolytes? It's really simple. I grab a teaspoon of salt and I dump it in my water. That's it. That's all I had to do. I shit you not. I ain't got to buy something off Amazon. I ain't got to take no manufactured supplement or anything.
Spaceport lost to enemy
thanks
action.
for the super chat, man. Yeah, you know what? I will have a steak, dude. Thank you. That'll pay for a large ribeye. That's my favorite. That's about as much as it costs. Absolutely, I'll have that for you, man. I'll even share a video with you. I'll even share the video to you, man. Yeah, it is that simple. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna make videos about this. I'm gonna get hate about this. This is why I haven't said anything till now. But really, salt water. Fucking salt water. That's it. Just put salt in your goddamn water. Yeah, just add salt to your damn water. I got so frustrated, I tried that out of desperation. And my cramps melted away in 1 minute. I did it on the plane. I started having cramps on that 20-hour flight here. I was like, oh, fuck, this is going to suck. And out of desperation, I was like, you know what, I'll grab one of these little salt packets, and I put it in the water. And I switched it up. Yeah, it tastes like shit, but so does alcohol. So does hard liquor. You know, so does Jack. But you still drink it, right? If you could drink a shot of whiskey, you can drink salt water. Come on. And so I swigged that down. And actually, if you don't put too much salt in it, it really doesn't taste that bad. You almost can't even taste it. Even just a little bit is great if you've never done it. That I will recommend. However, again, I'm not a qualified medical professional. This is not medical advice. I'm not qualified to give it. Okay? If you've got sodium issues, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm just saying what worked for me. I do feel that I'm on to something and that other people could do this too, but again, I'm not a doctor, so don't take my word for it. Do your research. Talk with your doctor, especially if you've got sodium issues. You know? I'm not responsible for any of that. Your health is your stuff. I'm not telling you what to do with any of your meds or your treatment or your health problems or your doctor stuff or any of that. I'm just saying, you want to electrolyze your water, you want to get electrolytes, throw fucking salt in there. It's that simple. That's what worked for me. You know, there have been videos that have been out about sodium for a very long time now. But that's it. That's all I do. I just dump salt in my water. And then the other thing I do, I make real bone broth. Yep. Sounds disgusting. It looks disgusting, tastes great. I have a slow cooker, and it's got bones in there, and it's constantly cooking. I'm constantly pouring water in it, and I drink it every day. And that's really killed the cramps to about 80% of them. I still get them now and then if I go too long without drinking water, or if, when I wake up in the morning, I'll still get them sometimes, but they're not nearly, I mean, we're talking, I was crying in public. That's how bad they were. I don't do that no more because of this. So thank that stuff. I mean, thank the truth for crying out loud, man. There's so much bullshit in this world. Okay. I'm going to pull back. Yeah, I got some resentments about that, definitely. When you're in that much pain, man, you start getting angry, right? And definitely had to get through some anger there. But yeah, I figured that out. What's that? Oh, okay. I heard something. Let me see here. Oh, okay. But anyway, yeah, I was. So I did that. So I learned to put salt in my water, and then yeah. So salt in my water, bone broth for magnesium. That's how I get my magnesium. I did a blood test with the VA. They already told me my potassium was fine. They said my potassium was fine, and I was just eating meat the whole time. So potassium's not an issue. Never was. I get it from my meat, apparently, which surprised me. Yeah, that definitely surprised me. I thought you could only get that from plants. Okay, whatever. So yeah, I just eat meat, salt, water. Yeah, very, very boring. I know. Do I like it? No, I don't. I don't like being a one-trick pony with my food. But you know what I like even less? Taking 20 different supplements. I like that even less. Being told I've got to take pills for the rest of my life. That I like even less. Being even more emotionally unstable than I am now. Taking till 1 o'clock in the afternoon to wake up. Not being able to even
Science
run.
Division report success.
Did you guys know that I can sprint across the city block now? Yeah, I said it's sprint. Sprint. Yep. I'm doing it. And it's improved. And hold on, let me punch in 80 kilos. How much is that? So how much weight is 80 kilos? That is, so I can pull down right now, I guess it's 176 pounds. Well, I can do that about 8 times. And, oh, no, fuck that, dude. I'm sorry, fuck that. No. I'm not a fan of that, by the way. I'm not going to say what it is. You won't hear the words, but yeah. Yeah, I am not, I think that's the snakiest of oils, so to speak. Yeah. I shouldn't have said that. Well, anyway, yeah. No.
Field engineers have cleared a blocker.
Gimmicks, no secrets, no. It's not rocket science. I just put salt in my water. I eat beef and nothing else. I drink bone broth and animal, and tallow. I know, I drink grease. Yes, it sounds disgusting. It looks disgusting. Tastes great. Yeah. I know. Yeah. That's my life today, but the benefits are just wow. And then there's this. I mean, my energy, like I said, it took me till 1 o'clock in the afternoon most days to actually wake up, to not be groggy anymore. Now it takes me 30 minutes. at most. Before I'm firing on all cylinders on average. Every once in a while, I'll be a little bit more tired than usual.
Anomaly found.
Another thing I have to thank for, behind the scenes the past couple of years has been high intensity training. Another unpopular idea that the mainstream would like to keep down and keep quiet.
Council agenda available.
So yeah, I'm talking about the teachings of Mike Mentzer and Dorian Yates. I do that, or I do as much of it as I can. I do my own style of it, of course, but I try to follow it to the best of my ability. The one set till failure. I was quitting the gym. I knew I was quitting. I knew I was going to stop going to the gym. I've been in this pattern so many times. I would get on a gym kick, and then I would quit. And then I'd get on a gym kick, and I would quit.
Field engineers
and then I quit,
and
I quit, and I quit. And I knew I was going to quit again. I was like, I don't want to fucking quit.
Anomaly
I want to
found.
keep doing this. What do I do? And that's when I started seeing those shorts.
System
I don't
reconnaissance
think that was
completed.
a coincidence, man. Like someone was watching out for me when they put those shorts and
Recon
videos
pass
of my
completed.
feet. And I was like, this can't be real. It was like carnivore. I didn't believe it first. When I watched the first video, first time I ever heard of the idea of just eating meat, I didn't even think you could live and be alive and do that. That's how brainwashed I was. I was like, no, there's no way that's real, but it is. And same with HIIT training. I was like, there's no way that you can do one set for 2 minutes, and then walk out in 5 minutes and grow. There's no way. There's no way you could get just as much of a workout in 5 minutes as you would get in 2 hours or 3 hours. No way. But it's true. Look at me. Look at me. I have muscles. I shouldn't have muscles the way I've been working out, if that were true. But I do. And I'm losing fat. And yeah, carnivore with HIIT training is like putting gasoline on fire. And it's done more than just make me strong and give me more muscles and build my muscles. And I'm not even doing it 100%. I'm not doing it like I'm not trying to be a professional bodybuilder. I'm not even following Dorian Yates's and Mentzer's program to the letter. But even the little that I do, and I don't do it consistent enough. I could do it way more consistent.
Recon pass completed.
I bet if I did, I'd probably be even bigger, a lot bigger. But I don't. But even with the small amount I do, like I've taken a couple weeks off, and I have not lost any gains. I keep gaining small amounts. Yeah. HIIT training. Try it once sometime. Go into the gym.
Found.
If you like Swolaris, somebody call it, yeah. I like Swolaris too. If you hit the gym, try it sometime. Go in there and just say, okay, I'm going to do one set. I'm going to take the exercise I'm going to do today. I'm just going to do one set, but I'm going to give it my all. There's this concept in football called leave it all on the field. That's what I'm talking about. Give it every single drop you got. Give it 1,000% effort. If you're not screaming, you're doing it wrong. If you're not hitting the lunk alarm, you're doing it wrong. That's the most political I've ever been on my channel. If you're not hitting that alarm, you're doing it wrong. And dude, it's like putting gasoline on fire. But go in there just one time. You owe it to yourself one time to go in there and do one set till failure and fucking leave. Don't wait around. No breaks. Just one set after another. Do it till you can't. Your muscles physically cannot move the weight anymore at the very least, and it really hurts. And then you let go, and you're done with that exercise. You go to the next one, do the same thing there. Now, this is really going to suck on legs, but that's where the true test comes in. You do that, and then you leave. You don't hang out. You leave. Just do that one time. Try it one time. For me, try it one time. You'll be blown away. When I first did it, I walked out. I was mad. You know why I was mad? Because for years, I had been wasting hours of my life.
Construction complete.
Doing 3 sets of 10. And getting nowhere. And I came out of there feeling more smoked than I ever did doing 3 sets of 10. That's my story. That's my story. You can argue with me. You can come at me about it. I don't care. That's what I've seen with my 2 eyes. That was my experience. Maybe it was something else. Like I said, I could be have the wrong idea, but really, I have not seen any evidence or enough
Field
or information to convince me to the contrary. And I've done a lot of research. I'm not saying high volume training doesn't work. I'm not saying that 3 sets of 10 doesn't work necessarily, especially if you're committed and you're consistent. Any amount of weightlifting, I feel, is going to be better than not doing it at all. But as far as efficiency is concerned, as far as motivation is concerned, not burning out, principles, effectiveness, I'll take HIIT training in a heartbeat.
Skywatch has cited a spaceborne life form.
I've seen it. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah. And I believe red meat has every nutrient the body needs. I used to believe that, like, plants had all the micronutrients. Boy, was I wrong. Guys, I've been living off of red meat only for 2 years. Almost now. No plants. I'm still alive. I'm talking. I'm thriving. What more do you want from me? I mean, you can cancel me, but, like, this is real. I'm not making this up. I don't make shit up. I don't care. You know what I care about? Not feeling like shit. That's what I care about. Not feeling like I'm dragging around 1,000 pounds. Not taking till 1 o'clock in the afternoon again. You know? Not spinning the wheel of fortune every day wondering how I'm going to feel from one day to the next. You know?
Science Division reports success.
The strength, too. Not just physical, mental. And HIIT training, that's the other thing. HIIT training has made me mentally tough as well. Because when you're going through that kind of pain, man, it changes you. I'm telling you, as a dude, it changes you. Absolutely. Man, if you're a dude, try HIIT training, man. It can be addictive. That feel, dude, I come out of that gym. Yeah, I'm effed up for about 20, 30 minutes. I actually go lay down. I have to sleep. That's how much I tire myself out. That's how much I kick my ass. But when I wake up, dude, I feel like I can punch through concrete blocks, dude. That's how fucking strong I feel. That's how strong HIIT training has made me feel. And I know I'm, especially with the cramp pain and everything, having to take that. My mental toughness over the past 2 years has, I think, increased exponentially. You know, I mean, frickin' Casper. Yeah, you big troll. I'll definitely not going to call you out in front of 10,000 people, bro. But I want to. No, we have an agreement. We don't. But nah, he's just messing with me. I mean, you know what? But see, Casper's, not to put you on blast, bro, but you're one of those guys that you've even told me yourself you can eat whatever you want and not get consequences from it. And I believe you. You know? I believe you. You're one of those people. I'm not, unfortunately. I'm just not. I have to watch what I eat. I have to eat the right things. But I do. But listen, guys, I am a reluctant carnivore. Like I said, I got dragged into this kicking and screaming. This is the only thing that worked. It wasn't. I'm not here to crusade or tell people what to do with their diet. I do believe that getting off carbs is amazing. Even if you're still eating plants, it's just the way to go, I think. Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me. My mic just shut off again. I don't know what's going on with my headset, but it's starting to piss me off, so I might end the stream at some point soon. Now, it's only been an hour and a half. I don't know if you guys want to keep hearing me drone on and on, but, like, Yeah, man. I've had to deal with a lot of challenges this year. They were inner challenges, you know. I had to come to terms with this diet that I'm on. I had to come to terms with the changes in my body, and also, I'm not going to talk about this very much, but I will say that one of the challenges of increasing your testosterone naturally as a man, and I'm going to say it, you get the urge more than you did. And let me tell you, I have had, yeah, when it comes to being a dude, there's some parts of me that feel like they're 20 years old again. I'll just say that. And I've been literally having to grab that freaking harness and yank back hard at some points. I'll tell you that. Definitely. And that's all I'm gonna say. I don't even think I should say that. But yes, there have been. It's definitely helping my testosterone. Yeah, it's definitely helping my testosterone. I can tell. Like I said, just across the board. Like, just I think I really lost faith in. No, I'm not gonna say that. So anyway, I'm still carnivore. I'm still doing HIIT training. It gets better and better. It's like a positive feedback loop. My mind is better. My emotions are better. My sleep is better. My exercise is better. My strength is better.
Anomaly found.
So Zelik will tell you, we play video games together a lot, and Casper will tell you, I am a much better player now than I was. That is obviously clear at this point. My mechanical skill has risen. Absolutely. By a great degree. I'm able to do things now in game that I was never able to do before. That surprise myself, that make my eyes pop out of my head almost. Like, whoa, did I just do that? I remember me and Zelik we play StarCraft 2 a lot. StarCraft co-op. We're like level 600. I know it's crazy. Please give me a shout out if you play that. I would love to play co-op with you sometime. Yeah, it seems like we're the only ones. Keep hope alive, right? I mean, I mean, the game's over. I mean, they finished the story and everything. So, I mean, they released all the commanders. They're pretty much not working on it anymore, as far as I know.
System reconnaissance
but
completed.
It's still a great, very enjoyable
System
game to play.
reconnaissance
But
completed.
it requires a lot of APM at times, and like I said, my APM has risen considerably doing this. So even and I have better ideas, building ideas, gameplay ideas, and that's carrying into this channel. I'm sharing with you guys concepts and things that I've recently learned because my brain is thinking better, you know, just better overall. You know, things occur to me that didn't used to occur to me before. You know, it's not just experience. It's like, I could have thought of that, but I just didn't see it. You know, I was in this fog. You know, I'm not in that brain fog anymore. Oh, and for the love of God, I can actually sleep now. Man, in fact, I have a problem with sleeping too much. If I'm not careful, like if I'm not in bed actively trying to keep myself awake, I will just doze off. I'll come to like 3 hours later. Damn, I did not want to sleep that long. This has been a weekly occurrence, you know, no matter how many alarms I set. But you know what? I'll take these high quality problems over the problems I was having any day of the week. I will take my worst problems today over the worst problems of yesterday. Absolutely. So anyway, now, unless you guys don't want me to, but I can't really have no more about my background as much as I can without, again, brushing up on those topics. So I'm 42 years old. I grew up all over the United States. I was my father was in the military, and we moved around a lot. We moved all over the place. You know, I've been far up north. I'm not going to name specific locations because I don't want to dox myself too much here. But I've been far up north,
Construction complete.
very north. I've been in the south. I've been in the southwest. I've been in every state, every political spectrum you can think of.
Construction complete.
I've been in, the East Coast. I've been in. I've never lived in the flyover states, but I've been there. I've been to those states. There's a few states I haven't gone to, namely Texas and Hawaii. I haven't really been there. Yeah, but and so I grew up that way. There's a lot of things that shape me that I don't want to talk about right now. I don't think it's appropriate.
Construction complete.
But there is some dark stuff. There's a lot of dark stuff to my story that I'm just not going to share today. Maybe when I'm more comfortable, or maybe things get a little bit more lax rules wise. But I just don't want to. Because they're pretty touchy. Some pretty touchy stuff happened in my growing up. Okay. Well, anyway, so yeah, I had a lot of challenges, but you already know that I suffer from chronic illness, or I did. In particular, thyroiditis or thyroid disease, and I had it from the time that I was a kid. It started when I was 10. I started feeling like I was dragging around 1,000 pounds wherever I went. I had no more energy. It basically robbed me of my childhood, for the most part. And that carried on, and it really messed up my teenage years. It wasn't the only thing, but it was a large part of it, because it also had a great effect on my moods and my, psychiatric state at the time. I'm not really going to get into the psychiatric stuff. I don't think that's appropriate either.
Ships refitted.
That's something I do kind of want to keep private. I just want to let you guys know, no, I'm not a stark raving lunatic. I'm not extremely crazy, any crazier than anybody else. I have some issues, but which one of us doesn't have issues nowadays? Yeah, I mean,
ships refitted.
And I did take meds for it for a while, but as to what I just don't want to. I'm not going to talk details, not today. But yeah, I grew up with a lot of problems. I feel like I had a pretty tough childhood. I mean, that's subjective, of course.
System reconnaissance completed.
I mean, no, you know what hard is? Being on the beaches of Normandy and
Recon
D-Day.
pass
That's
completed.
hard. If it's not that, it's not hard. I always got to remember that, right? I mean, I've been in airborne infantry. Yeah, I did. I joined the Army when I was a teenager, when I was 19. I went to Operation Iraqi Freedom, and it was right after 9/11, and I felt that going in the military was going to solve a lot of problems that I was experiencing, and so I did that. And
Science Division report success.
I came back alive. I saw a lot of crazy stuff. Added even more trauma to the list. But I got through it. And saw a lot of stuff. But I saw a lot of stuff before that too. And then after that, after I got out of the military, I got an honorable discharge. Though on my way out, they found the thyroid disease, and that's the reason why I was able to come to the Philippines. So, things work in mysterious ways, right? What I think is terrible news might turn out to be, might be exactly what I need. And apparently, that was what I needed. I needed my disease, even though sometimes I really don't think I do, and really wish things were different. If I didn't have this condition, I would have to be working a 9-to-5 at some job that I really hate and not doing this. And that's the truth. And I try to be as grateful as I can for that. Though I do fail quite a bit from time to time. I'm not proud of that. But if you are there working a 9 to 5 job, I want you to know that I don't. I have done that, and I do know what it's like, and I have no illusions at how hard that is. It is definitely hard. I mean, it was harder back then, of course. I mean, it could always be worse, right? That's really the best way to be great. Like the easiest way to be grateful is just imagine how things could be worse. That's the easiest way to get yourself into gratitude, at least for me. To actually, see the good stuff is like, oh yeah, that could have been so much worse. Like, I mean, I had to go to Iraq, and it was hard. It was really tough, and I was miserable. But let me tell you, I never had to fire my weapon. I don't have a kill count, guys. I don't have a kill count. A lot of my buddies did. Guys that I pulled security with. The guy next to me. He had a kill count. I never did. I never had to. I got lucky. I had plenty of opportunities. There were plenty of opportunities for somebody to take a shot and somebody to engage us, and I never got engaged. We never got engaged. Whenever I went out, I mean, there was like one time, but really, in my circle, my squad, my platoon, my company, we never had contact when I was out. I don't know why. Something was watching over me. But yeah, I mean, that's something to be grateful for.
Recon pass completed.
And I want to be grateful that I don't have a kill count, because I don't think any sane person really deep down wants to know what it's like to take another life. And I was spared that, at least to this day. I was spared that, and I hope that never changes. Part of me does want that experience. I'm not gonna lie, but really, most of me doesn't. Most of me doesn't. The dark part of me probably wants that, but no. I am mostly grateful that I never had to have that experience. That I never had to fire my weapon at anyone. That there were a couple things there that I won't talk about that were very questionable, that challenged me greatly, and that's all I'm gonna say, that I'm not proud of, and that I was
system reconnaissance completed.
That really that shook me to my core, and yeah, I'm not gonna go into details. I mean, you want to hear war stories? They're all over YouTube. I'm just not gonna tell them today. I have them, but I'm not gonna tell them today. That'd be another 2 hours. I did see some shit over there, but like, I mean, I was living in a place that was getting mortared every day. I did have mortars explode around me. Never got any shrapnel or anything. I don't have a Purple Heart. But yeah, the fact that I don't have a Purple Heart is something to be grateful for. I respect the guys that got one even more for that reason. So I got out of the military. Not really going to go into how that happened.
Council agenda available.
The other thing is too, I got to be careful because
anomaly found.
Let's just say that I signed an agreement, sort of. I made an agreement with someone that I wasn't going to share details, and don't even know if it's legal to do that. So we're just gonna say I served an OIF. I saw some shit. I'm lucky to be alive. I'm lucky that I didn't have to do any super horrific things. There were a couple times I got close. I have seen somebody get pulled out of a river, and they were not alive. So I did see that. That image is burned into my head. That'll never leave. I have. So I was in infantry. I can say that. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division, and anyone in that unit and in the Army, in that branch, will tell you that the 82nd is tough. It's not exactly Special Forces, but they live in the same place as them for the most part. And I don't think I'm violating OPSEC by saying that. Hopefully I'm not. It's pretty common knowledge. I mean, it's for brag. It's brag, right? I mean, that's the unit. It's Bragg, so everybody knows where the A2nd is. Everybody knows that that's where Special Forces is. It's not a secret, you know. And they would pull from our unit directly. I mean, people in my squad were getting selected. In my company, all around me were getting selected. So that's how
Anomaly
tough
found.
our unit was. We were tough enough to qualify for selection. Okay.
Construction
YouTube
complete.
sometime how hard selection
Battle
is. Everybody
debris
talks
secured.
about buds and you know and Navy SEALs. Well, that ain't much easier. I'll tell you that. In some ways, it's harder. I've heard. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but like I said, I had. In fact, I had a squad leader. He made selection, and I was doing his PT. He made us do his PT, and it was insane. It was absolutely insane. He almost had me doing pull-ups, even though I was overweight. And I think my biceps were bigger. I saw a picture of myself. I was like, is that really me? Are those my biceps? Holy shit. I mean, they were huge. Maybe it was just a trick of the camera. You know, cameras were weird back then. They still are. They make you look a lot fatter than you are normally, right? They got that going on. People joke and say they're fat pictures or whatever. You know, I mean, you know, the camera can distort your body, right? At least that's been my experience. Or make it look like it isn't actually is. But man, it was a picture of me one time and it was when this was going on. I had huge arms. And I don't think that was actually a distortion. I think that was real. I mean, he was getting me in shape. That was, and it was brutal. I mean, we did runs, like 5-mile run, then lots of PT, and then PT that most units didn't do, like ropes, climbing ropes, pull-ups. You know, you didn't really have to do pull-ups in my unit. You do in the more elite ones. You know, Special Forces, you got to be able to do pull-ups.
Recon
but we didn't
pass
have
completed.
to, technically. That was not part of our PT test. But like,
battle debris secured.
You know,
Fleet
it was brutal.
Action underway.
And so yeah, I had a very tough experience in the Army. Very tough experience in the Army. And I did all of that with thyroid disease the whole time. Dragging 1,000 pounds. I don't know how I willed myself through that. I saw a picture of myself in my class
Recon
the other
pass
day,
completed.
And I was like, how did I do that? To this day, I don't know. I guess I was 20 and I was crazy. I don't know.
Fleet action underway.
But it was very difficult for me. And they found that goiter on the way out, and that's why I've been taken by the care of by the VA ever since. So let me refresh this page. It's looking like it's stuck here. Okay, so it says I'm still streaming. I don't know if my internet's bad or what. Definitely need to close out some of these windows. Should have done that a while ago. Okay. So yeah, it looks like my webpage is frozen. I'm gonna reload it. Give me a second here. Can you guys in Discord
System
hear me?
reconnaissance completed.
Am I good? I'm lighting up in Discord, so. Okay, I see Casper lighting up, but I'm not hearing any sound. OBS still looks good, so. Okay, cool. It's just this shit's giving me the heebie-jeebies, man. Let's see here.
Recon pass completed.
I think it's that.
Anomaly found.
Okay. All right, cool. So we're still up. Yeah, so it was stuck at an hour. It's been 2 hours. Yeah, so I'm just really grateful to be alive today, guys. I really am. You know, 6 years ago, I was obese. I was very big. Very slow, very tired. Everything hurt. I could not
Anomaly
stay.
found.
You know, I could not stay up. You know, stay standing up for more than 5 minutes before I had to lay back down. And that was for months. I couldn't even lift 10 pounds. And today, I can sprint across the city block. I don't take any pills or anything that looks like pills, hardly ever, other than the occasional Tylenol for headaches. I don't know how I don't react to that. I react to everything else, but not Tylenol for some reason. Don't know why. But, you know, I only do
Anomaly
that
found.
when I, you know, can't take it anymore. So, yeah, I mean,
Recon pass
you
completed.
know, it's I don't know what they'll say that I haven't said before. You know, I was in the military, I got out.
Science division report success.
Didn't really know what to do with myself after that. I got into a relationship that didn't work out. I got engaged, but yeah, just it didn't work out. I don't want to go into detail about that, you know, because that rubs up against some, you know, stuff we shouldn't be talking about. So, but anyway, I can't say it just didn't work out, and I got into another relationship, and that was also very difficult for me. And yeah, so, you know, and I think I'm going to stop there when it comes to talking about my love life. I kind of really do not want to talk about my love life right now on this channel. Not that it's all bad, it's all painful. I mean, I got some crazy funny stories and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like I have quite a bit of experience, but I don't want to get into that discussion. It's just really, it's a really touchy subject on the internet right now. I don't really want to go there. Yeah, I want to keep it to gaming. But yeah, I've had girlfriends before. I've had, I'm single now, but you know, I nearly did get married, you know, once, and yeah, you know, and then yeah, and it just didn't work out.
System reconnaissance completed.
Let's see what else about me I can say.
Ships refitted.
So I did, not going to go into the details of how that happened or why, completed. But I ended up living out of my car for a year. I moved to a state and I wasn't prepared, and I got laid off from my job, and I ended up living out of my car for a year. So, yeah, exactly. I had chronic inflammation, now I don't. I mean, I still I think I still have some internal digestion issues, but I damaged my gut a lot.
Special project complete.
With bad food, so I mean, it's understandable. You can't heal in one night, you know. It's taken me just a couple of years just to get this far, so but yeah, after being homeless for about a year, living out of my car, I finally learned about the post 9/11 GI Bill. I got on it. I went to college, and suddenly I had a place to live. And you know, and there were struggles and challenges with that, but I did get my degree. I graduated with a degree in psychology. It's not enough to be qualified for anything or certified or anything to do anything with. I don't think it was useless though technically on paper it was. As in I didn't use it. But the knowledge, I took the knowledge very seriously, and I still do. In fact, part of me from time to time does kind of wish I would go back, see if I could get back into my books and read the stuff, because I really absorbed that that topic fascinates me. It does. It still does. The stuff I learned some incredible things. Like I'll show you guys an example. One of the things I learned in college, like one of the first classes I took for psychology when I was doing the major, was basically every person on this planet is a product. Like their personality is determined by 3 different things, and I do believe that that's correct. I'll just use myself as an example. My genetics, so what my DNA is, my experience, what happens to me as I develop in the world, as I go about in the world, what ends up happening to me. And then my perspective, how I view that experience through the lens of my DNA, and shape, all 3 of those influence each other to make me who I am. So DNA, experience, and perspective. It's those 3 things. And that's like one of the most fascinating things I learned. It really it did subtly change my thinking a lot about the way I think about things. So like it explains just about everything. Like, for example, how can somebody go through something horrific and turn out to be a great guy and not just go evil? Well, because of that. Because see, you could say, well, okay, because you were born in this situation, you're doomed to being that way. Well, no, not necessarily. There are exceptions, and those exceptions prove what this is talking about, is that they still have their perspective. They can still choose and say, oh, you know what, I'm just not going to be that way. And then they don't, But then others, they decide, oh, I'm going to be that way. In fact, I deserve to be that way, or I should be that way, or it's my right, or whatever. Or I like being that way, So, it's just like good versus evil. There's kind of a little bit of a choice in there, but at the same time, you can't choose your genetics, right? So it's a kind of a mixture. My genetics is obviously I don't, last I checked, I was a dude. I don't know what it's like to, not be one. So, I don't know what it's, I was born with some DNA that said that I'm not going to have hair after I'm 25. So I don't have that DNA, so I don't have the experience of having hair after I'm 30. Yeah, here. You've seen my egg head before, right? So I ain't scared to show you guys. I just think I look better with a hat. I do. I think it's cool. I like it. So, yeah. Hey, sue me. It makes me look younger. I like it. Well, plus shaving my head's not the big deal today. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So psychology, I do take that topic seriously. It does fascinate me. I'm really into science and futurism. Obviously, I play Stellaris, so I've got to be at least a little bit, right? I love those megastructures. In fact, that's how I bought my first DLC. I wanted to play with the Dyson Sphere because I'm like, I'll be damned if I'm gonna have this huge, powerful empire and not have a Dyson Sphere. That makes no sense. So that's why I got Utopia, so I could play with one. That was the original idea, and then that kind of put me down the rabbit hole there. I saw how good Utopia was, and I was like, you know what? This is pretty decent. This is some decent content. A lot more than I thought there was. So yeah, to give Paradox some love here, the DLC, the expansions that they come out with, I do feel that they are worth paying for, but how much is where we get into discussion, right? Where we get into controversy. Because, especially right now, I don't really feel like they should be charging as much as they do. I think they're digging their own grave charging that much for their expansions, especially when not everybody likes them. But that's a different topic. So, yeah, I got my degree, and then I got I stuck it out for 4 years. And I got my life together. I started. Okay, sound check. Can you hear me? Looks like I'm coming through on OBS. Okay, that's like the 4th or 5th time my headset has turned off on me, and it's pissing me off. So I think I am probably going to end the stream there. But I gave you guys some pretty first time facts and knowledge about me. I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I thank everybody that's here, still here. Thank you to the viewers that were with me from day one. Thank you so much. But thank you to the new viewers too. And I hope going forward that I deserve all of this success that I'm getting. And I hope I can capitalize on it and put it to good use. First and foremost, I would love to use this to help people more. I do believe in helping people. I believe in being good, being a good guy. It takes strength to be good, actually good, not just looking for a desired response, but actually, it's not just being good, it's doing the right thing. It takes strength to be honest when you could tell a lie. It takes strength to persevere when you could easily give up. I mean, easier said than done, right? And it takes strength to, hold your tongue and use restraint when dealing with an unreasonable person instead of just beating them up, right? And it takes strength to do the right thing when you could easily do the wrong. And that's kind of the example I want to bring to the world. I want to kind of just shed some light in the darkness here. There's a lot of dark stuff going on that I'm not going to talk about, but are there, and I don't have my head in the sand about it. I'm aware of them. It's just, like I said, this is a gaming channel right now. Maybe someday I will be able to talk about those things. But right now, I don't feel like I can. Not safely, not without endangering my channel, everything I worked for, and just, and turning this channel into something that's not originally, and losing all my viewers. Don't really want to do that either. Maybe the day will come where I don't care. But for right now, I still see a future with YouTube. I still feel like I could do something, even though I'm hearing all this doom and gloom lately about AI's taking all our views. They took our gerbs, That's what I hear when I hear all like AI took our views. Oh, they took our gerbs. I don't know, man. I don't want to get in that discussion. Like, I made a statement about AI the other day. I feel if you're doing the right thing, if you're getting quality in an age where it is so rare that it's almost like gold. I mean, we see in the gaming world, right? I mean, games that their only focus is to make a good game and to please their player base. Those games are making all the money right now. Those games are the ones that are being super successful. Every other one that deviates from that just goes in the crapper. For whatever reason, not going to go into details. Obviously, not appropriate. But can't go there. But you get me, right? You get me. You feel me. I'm sure you do. It's a known issue. And that's what I want to. I want to bring integrity and authenticity as much as I can to YouTube without violating terms of service. Basically, I think that's what my purpose here is. And to be real, I don't think you see many Stellaris YouTubers that'll be as tough as I am. I don't know if tough's the right word. I don't know what the right word is, but cut the bullshit kind of is my attitude, right? Let's say what it is instead of we're so concerned with wrapping things in nice language that I think we just missed the plot entirely. But anyway, enough of that. You guys have a great one. I'm going to go before my headset cuts out again. I don't know why it's doing this, but you know what? And that question why is something that I've been very difficult for me to let go of. If you live in the Philippines for any length of time, you know what I'm saying. You can't ask that question here. You just can't. In fact, there's no point in asking why about anything. It just is. There's nothing you can do about it other than what's in your circle, right? And I'm just focusing on my circle right now the best I can. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much. Congratulations to everybody on this great achievement. You know, I'm just glad we could even do this. I'm so grateful. And to you, those that weren't here, that I wanted to be here, just I bear you no ill will. There's nothing even to forgive. I know you would be here if you could be here. All right. I trust that you would be here if you could. And I'm just gonna believe it. So because I love you guys. Those of you, just I love all of you. Thank you for giving me hope. I'm gonna say this without getting too emotional. Thank you for giving me hope. Thank you for believing in me enough to click that sub button. Appreciate it. You know, not just getting totally turned off by my content. Not getting super offended. You know, it's been good times. Well, I feel like I found oil in my backyard. I'd be an idiot to not do something with it, right, guys? So I'm gonna go ahead and do something with that oil in my backyard. Anyway, you guys have a good night, or evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world, or afternoon. And yeah, tomorrow I won't be on, but I already have my streams up on the schedule. The next few streams are up for your perusal to look at. And I hope you guys had an enjoyable time, though, you know, I don't know how much you can enjoy listening to me talk for 2 hours. But hey, you know, I just hope you guys were entertained at least a little bit. All right. Take care and see you next time.